Coming up today on David versus Goliath. There's nothing we enjoy talking more about on DVG than cowhides. The only way to become a business owner is to start a business. You have to believe in yourself and you have to believe in what you're doing.
Welcome to today's episode of David versus Goliath, a podcast dedicated to helping small businesses leverage technology to not only help them compete against their large competitors, but win. Your host is currently the CEO of Anthem Business Software, a three-time Inc. 500 recipient, and a serial entrepreneur with a passion to help small businesses everywhere find, serve, and keep more customers profitably. Please join me in welcoming your host, Adam DeGraide.
Hey everyone, it's Adam DeGraide from the David versus Goliath podcast. Welcome to another fantastic episode that is sure to bring a smile to your face. Today's episode is brought to you by Anthem Software, our corporate sponsor, where you can find, serve, and keep more customers profitably with their all-in-one solution of software, CRM software, marketing services, and a training lab with great videos to teach you how to grow your business. All available at anthemsoftware.com. You can take a 120-second tour today. Visit us online at davidvsgoliathpodcast.com. There you can subscribe to be getting our newsletters and updates and also apply to be on the podcast. Don't forget to do that. It's going to be awesome. You can also check out my new book, The Adventures of Jackson the Young Field Mouse, on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Teaches kids three things: bravery, attentiveness, and gratitude. Three great things that kids need to have in their lives. It's a story I've been telling my children for 26 years. Hopefully, you enjoy it as much as I do. Well, today we're going to be featuring another soulpreneur. What I love about this is the fact that soulpreneurs are the ultimate David versus Goliath. When you first start your business, it's usually just you or one or two or three people. And that's what makes business so exciting. So last week I featured a soulpreneur. This week I'm also featuring a soulpreneur, somebody who has fallen in love with cowhides and has figured out a way to help you fall in love with cowhides. And this is Aaron from Furug.com. Aaron, welcome to the David versus Goliath podcast.
Hello.
And I know this is your first podcast. Hopefully you're not nervous, but you're excited to share.
I'm fine. I'm in Kentucky. I had some bourbon, so I'm good to go.
Exactly. It's my second interview from a fellow gentleman out of Kentucky. And I find this to be fascinating because DVG, we do a lot of interviews with business owners that have multiple employees, but I've been interviewing soulpreneurs as well on the show because I really love the spirit of the individual going out and starting something from scratch. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read what you wrote to me because I thought it was awesome. So Furug is the name of it. So it's FURUG.com, right? FURUG.com.
Yeah. When I was starting, I took out that repetitive R instead of FURRUG, just FURUG.
Yeah, FURUG. So it's Furug. I am truly a small business. I handle everything from social media, importing, sales, marketing, web design, shipping, sourcing, financials, and everything else. CEO means for me, the chief everything officer. You started your company in 2009. And I love this, by the way, watchers and listeners, listen to this. Not knowing anything about all of the above, but also not knowing about leather, interior design, rugs, pillows, or anything else related to the business he's currently running. So basically, what Aaron is telling me is that in 2009, something happened in his life where he said, I can no longer work for somebody else. I've got to go and do something for myself. And that's where Furug.com started. I was taking a look at the site today. Fascinating stuff. And it's great because people that are looking for something unique in their homes and unique that they can't find in mass, it's a great place to do it. So why don't you tell the watchers and the listeners a little bit about yourself and how you ended up being on this podcast today?
All right. Yeah, no problem. And if you want to put up a light if I start going too long, because I can sit here and talk about cowhides and stuff. To me, I'm excited about it, but
there's nothing we enjoy talking more about on DVG than cowhides. And so
I know, right?
That's why we have you here today.
So anyway, yeah, I grew up in the panhandle of Florida. I'm from Destin originally, bounced around Florida a little bit, moved to Nashville, started working for Glasso, they make vitamin water, smart water. Loved it. Great company culture. It was a lot of fun. I really busted my hump as I was working there. And then Coca-Cola ended up buying them out. So things started to change a bit. Culture changed. There was a lot of repetitive positions within the company. So they started doing rounds of layoffs. And so they got to me and they were like, do you want this job at Coke or do you want this severance package? And the guys at Coke work really hard, but I also saw some that didn't. So what I saw was I was out there busting my butt, but I was making the same amount of money as the guy who was just skating by and not really putting effort into it. So I thought, I want to work for myself. I'll take the severance package, but what am I going to do? So I had a cowhide on the floor, loved it. I've had it for about 20 years now. And I thought, you know what? That's cool. I love that. It's unique. It's one of a kind. It's a high quality product. So I said, you know what? I don't know a damn thing about hides. So I'm just going to go for it. Lots of internet research. I found the absolute best cowhide in the world. It's actually from southern Brazil. So on a leap of faith, I reached out to some tanneries down there. It's you pinch them tight when you transfer a lot of money to another country, and you kind of got to cross your fingers about what's going to come in. So I was living in Nashville. Hides started coming in. And again, I didn't know anything about interior design, nothing. So what I would do, I'd put these hides under my arm and I'd go into like the high-end retail stores and interior designers. And I go, hey, listen, my name's Aaron. I'm local. If you've got 5 minutes, I'd love to show you what I have. So I would just throw down hides and they would go, oh my God, your hides are beautiful. They're large. They're gorgeous. They're so soft. We'll start buying from you. So I started in Nashville and I got, probably a 5 or 6 great clients who most I still have today. And then I would go to different cities, Lexington, Atlanta, Birmingham. And I would kind of do the same thing, just under my arm, just, hey, here I am. This is what I have. Love to show you what I can do for you.
It's fascinating that, the ideas and sparks come from the strangest places sometimes. So, here you are, you're working at a great company. I want to go back and talk a little bit about what you did at that company in a second, because I never even knew how to pronounce that company. I've had some of their water products before, but I didn't know how to pronounce them.
It's a made-up word.
That's what I thought. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so
it's an interesting story, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So basically, you have the severance package. You want to do something of your own. You're sitting there and you're staring at this hide that you love. And have you ever thought up to that point that hides was going to be your life before that moment? So you had it for 20 years. Have you ever looked at that hide before in the past and say, oh, you know what? I think this might be an interesting business. Or was it at that moment when you were looking for your next thing, you looked down and said, oh, there's a hide there. Hides are in my future.
Well, I had kind of thought about it a little bit before when they started doing rounds of layoffs. And I'm like, well, what am I going to transition into? And I had worked for a friend who imported hardwoods out of southern Brazil. So I kind of got the bug for importing. And I just started bringing them in. And again, I didn't know a lot about it, but I love what I do. It's so amazing. To me, every time I get a shipment in from Brazil, it's like Christmas. I open it up and it's like, ooh, look at this one. Look at this one. Oh, I love this one.
And are you the one that's actually making the different things like the pillows, or are you working with the manufacturer to help you make them with the hides that you get in?
So with pillows and stuff, I ask my guys in Brazil, I go, hey, I need a dozen that look like stenciled zebras and stuff. And then they hand make everything for me down there and bring it in.
Got it. So you are truly working with them to design it. You're importing it and then you're distributing it here in the States.
Right. And it's not just Brazilian cowhides. I also do stuff out of South Africa. Real zebra hides.
Yeah, I saw that. That looked strange. Like when I was looking at the real zebra hides, it's like a real zebra hide. Like you can see where the zebra once was.
Right. It's ethically sourced. It's not there. I'm not asking hunters to go out and grab me, a dozen zebra hides at a time. No. But yeah, I import stuff out of South Africa and then also out of Poland. I do Icelandic sheepskins and stuff like that. Again, it's all about making those business contacts, and my suppliers are fantastic and they've really helped me out.
And you've been doing this since 2009, right?
Yes, sir. 2009. And it's slow growth, but in the past couple of years, everybody with COVID sitting at home, They want to update their space. They're tired of looking at something, And I tell you, a quality cowhide rug is not going to last years. It's going to last decades. It stands up to abuse, people with kids, people with pets. It'll last, a really, really long time. So, the last couple of years have been good for me. I think it was up almost 50% last year. And this year I'm tracking ahead of last year.
And as you grow your business, I'm assuming you're going to want to, the goal is obviously to get more people ordering through you, and you're getting a team and building a team surrounding you as well too. But you have a team that you're currently working with, all of your providers, your outsources, the people that are helping you create these materials in Brazil and around the world. That is your team that you're currently managing right now. And as the company continues to grow in your vision, the passion that you can exude in your own life and in your own business can lead to that person that can work alongside with you here and take it from just yourself to growing it even bigger. But kudos to you, man, and actually being able to do it. It's fascinating. Now, when you worked at Coke, not Coke, when you worked at, how do you say it again?
Glasso.
What did you do at Glasso?
I was a sales manager down in Tennessee.
Okay, so you worked with the retail outlets to get it stocked in their stores and the convenience stores,
exactly,
and the supermarkets.
A lot of merchandising. Riding routes with the Coke guys, going out, making sure things look good in the grocery stores. Your independent C stores, your convenience stores, kind of go in and, hey, do you have us on the shelf? Can we get a little more space? If we're not here, can we get in? If we're not in the door already. But before that, I actually worked for Rockstar Energy Drink. Loved it.
And what did you like? If you were to say, what are the two things that you learned from Rockstar Energy and Glasso that has helped you in your current business? What did you learn there? Like, what was some of the key principles and things that you saw with those larger companies that have helped you in your smaller one that you've started now?
I would say getting out and hitting the bricks and, having a busy day. Don't, if you go out and you get turned down at one location, don't take it personal. Go out, hit somewhere else. You're going to find those places that are going to open up to you and, want to have you in their store. With Glasso, not everybody wanted vitamin water on the shelf. We've got all these other water products. Why would we want, your product? So, you get turned down here. I learned, go down the street and find someone else. There will be someone there that wants your product.
No doubt about it. And the key is this. The key is the courage to go get it, right? I mean, that's really is the secret. You just said it yourself. Like, just because somebody says no to you doesn't mean, the next one's going to say yes. I was actually, musically, I was thinking about that years ago. I was thinking about a guy, I don't know if it was a story of Richard Marx, I think, actually. I don't know if you remember Richard Marx. Those endless summer nights. Not my favorite guy on the planet.
No, keep singing. I didn't get it.
He was huge back in the 80s. And if I remember right, the story of Richard Marx was he was turned down. He had cassettes and he was sending them all these different record labels, and he kept getting turned down one after other. And it was like 20 something that, he had to go through before he actually hit on that one that was successful. And then who knows, he became one of the top recording artists in his first album. He had like 3 or 4 number one hits on that record. And he just never gave up. And, it's that spirit that's inside of us that just doesn't give up when somebody says no. It's like the founder of Domino's Pizza went bankrupt like 17 times with his first few pizza places. Nobody realizes that. But he never quit. He kept getting bankrupt. Yeah. He couldn't figure it out. He said, I didn't fail. I just figured all the ways it didn't work. And the next thing you know, he goes out and gets it done. And that's kind of what is important for the watchers and listeners to know, is that when you listen to Aaron's story, he was learning about, and that experience that he had with Rockstar and Glasso and eventually working with Coke, of pounding the pavement, going out there, getting his word out. So when he started Furug and he had his first few products, he slung them on his shoulders. He walked in and said, take a look at this. What do you think? And then, like you said, somebody says no, but eventually somebody says, you know what? I'm going to take that. Now, when we come back from the break, I want to talk to you about a few other things, but stay tuned. We have an important message right now from our corporate sponsor, Anthem Software. We'll be right back.
Anthem Business Software System is designed to specifically help small businesses just like yours find, serve, and keep more customers profitably. We do this by providing you with the most powerful software, automations, and marketing services to help your business compete and win in this ever-changing digital world. Take a short video tour at anthemsoftware.com.
Anthem Software. Every business has a song. Let our software sing yours.
And we're back with Aaron from Furug. It's going to be a great day, always talking with great people that have awesome ideas, but more important, they don't hesitate. They get to work right away. One of the things I talk about all the time, Aaron, is that hesitancy is the death of the entrepreneur, but action brings life. And, you talked about different failures of when you walked into stores and somebody said, no, I'm not really ready. And other places that said yes. One of the things I read on your sheet is that you had a challenge with a supplier at one point, and that was very difficult. Tell the listeners a little bit about that experience as well.
Yeah. So when I started, I had a supplier and he was getting me great product. And I thought the world of him, I've got this great guy. He's getting me what I need. So what happened is I brought on a couple reps and they started selling product for me too. Well, what happened is business was accelerating and I would reach out to my supplier and go, hey, I need, 30 of these, 40 of these. I need 60 hides. I need them ASAP. I'll get them to you in 4 weeks is what I would hear. 8 weeks later, I'd still be emailing them. Look, I've transferred the money. I've got people waiting on this stuff. Is it coming? Is it coming? Yeah, it should be leaving next week. I've got it prepped. It's going to go out. 10 weeks later, from the time it was sold in, it'd be hitting my door. And then by that time, the buyer, they've changed their mind. It's taken too long. The rep told them 4 weeks, which is what I told them, which was told to me by my supplier. So that was very, very difficult.
How did you get through? How did you get through that? Because obviously that affects your brand. It affects the confidence that people had in you. How did
Absolutely.
Did you lose clients from that?
I did. And it didn't work out with a couple of the reps that I had at that point too, because they're putting their reputation on the line. And I felt bad about that. So what happened is I started diving in again, like when I started the company, looking for new suppliers. And now I have a fantastic supplier that not only do I get to choose every single hide before I order it, I get to see photos. I know what's coming in, but he's shipping within a week before I've even transferred the money. So he has been phenomenal for my business.
Yeah,
so
he became a partner in your business. It sounds like.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly.
And instead of going out of stock and having 8 weeks to get something in, I'm now 2 weeks out if I don't have it in stock. So he's awesome. He is awesome.
Now, looking at the hides behind you, obviously it's a pretty cool image. What is that pink one? There's a pink one, a yellow one, an orange one. There's the zebra. I can see it. What are the ones that are colorful?
Those are just dyed hides. Yeah, they come in and they dye them just different colors, and it's a constant dye across them. That's actually a cowhide that's a stenciled zebra.
Really? So that's a cowhide, and they stenciled the zebra.
Right.
I did take a look on your site. You actually have zebra hides. I remember back years ago that having fur and real hide was the animal activist individuals were very, very angry about the fact that, this was going on and people were wearing fur and using hides. Has that been a challenge for you, or is that kind of subsided over the years? I haven't heard a lot of outrage personally about that.
It's subsided a lot, especially in the common fur. Like all these cowhides behind me, it's leather. That is just one step before they take the fur off. So you have leather in your car, you've got a leather belt on, leather shoes. It's the same thing. And they're not hunted for their hides. It's a byproduct of the cattle industry in southern Brazil. So
they're doing it for steak, they're doing it for meat, they're doing it for eating. And so
and they use the whole animal. So instead of throwing that beautiful hide into a landfill,
I totally agree. I never knew what the heck the fuss was about in the first place. But to your point, you wanted to make sure that you weren't just sending out hunters to hunt these people out. This is all natural byproduct stuff. That's the way it should be done.
And I stay away from anything that is hunted. I don't do, exotic minks and stuff like that. I do stuff that's all ethically sourced and it's all used from the country of origin, not.
What do you find? What do you find that the most of your customers? What is your highest volume selling product? Is it the cowhide? Is it the sheepskin? Is it the is it the pillows? Like what is it? Is it a blend of all of it?
It's cowhides. Yeah. Again, it's a high quality product. So designers love it when people come into their showrooms. Oh, you've got kids. Oh, you've got pets. You definitely need a cowhide because it's going to stand up to that abuse. And let's say you have it on your floor for I don't know, 5 years or something, and you want to change, you can then have it upholstered into an ottoman or pillows because it lasts forever, you know, and they're very easy to maintain. They're not delicate. A lot of people think you can't walk on them, but no, they stand up to abuse. They're a great product.
And then with you personally, I mean, obviously you must have self-funded this business. You started, as you mentioned, you started with the severance package, and you took that money and you just went out and started the business. I mean, it had to have been touch and go at certain points, has it been pretty smooth since the day you started?
It was a little rough to start, you know. You got to grow those things, and they don't, you know, you can't go out and sell to, let's say there's 20 interior stores in Nashville. You can't sell to all 20 of them because that's not what people want. They want something unique. So if you sell to one, maybe you can only sell to 2 or 3. So
yeah, that's a challenge for scalability and growth. So how do you plan on overcoming that as time goes on? Because that's obviously, you know, exclusivity is a challenge. I always tell people, you know, because people used to always ask me, you know, are you exclusive? And I'm like, no, I guess you could be the only one without us. That's one way to be exclusive. But I mean, how do you deal with that? Is that why you have to go from town to town and find those different relationships?
Exactly. And I'm back into, so I just did the largest home goods show in the country. It's called High Points out in North Carolina. Massive show. And you have to be a buyer. You have to have a showroom. You have to be an interior designer to go. It's not just a normal person looking for a one-off retail purchase. So that got me in front of a lot of people.
Oh, that's great.
And I actually picked up a rep that loves my product, loves what I'm doing. So now she's already killing it. This was only 3 weeks ago. She's already killing it she's got Utah, Arizona, Montana, Nevada, and a couple more states out west. And she's already just running with it, kind of like I did when I started.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I would imagine that she's looking for products that she can pimp out that are going to be unique to her as well too. That's fascinating. You know, what has been your biggest challenge so far in growing the business? Has it been just exposure, or has it been what has it been?
You know what? I would say it is exposure. Again, I'm the only one doing this. So I don't know about social media. I don't know about, you know, tweeting and everything like that. I'm learning as I go. You know, thank God for YouTube. You can learn anything on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I think that's been my biggest challenge.
You can learn everything about YouTube. I was on YouTube the other day trying to figure out how to change something in my car. I'm like, I have no idea how to do this. So
but it was there. You probably had a dozen videos.
The problem was it was the wrong car, and I'm looking at things. I'm like, this is a pain in the butt. So I just brought it in and had somebody fix it for myself. You know, right. I find that finding that information is important, but also if you don't get the right information, you can get all messed up as well too. So, right. You know, so with bringing in the hides and importing them into the States and distributing them out there, is there other products that you haven't been able to bring in that you want to bring in yet? Or are you pretty much able to get everything you need now?
I'm able to get everything I need. Yeah. Again, if I can't bring it in, I don't want to be selling it.
Now, do you sell furniture as well too? Or is it just rugs, pillows, or is it are there actual furniture pieces?
I don't do furniture. My guy in South Africa is really wanting me to get.
You should, man. I'll tell you why. Let me show you something really cool. Check this out. So I'm actually gonna get up right now, and I'm going to show the watchers and the listeners this chair. So as I get up, this is pretty cool. Watch this.
Yeah.
So as you can see here, folks, what you've got is fully leather chair. This is made of leather jackets, and I'll put it back here.
Oh, nice.
So you can see. So the chair actually is made of leather jackets, and on the back, it's got tails. So I'm actually going to put up for the viewers and the watchers a little bit about this. It's the most uncomfortable thing in the world, but I bet
it looks like metal studs.
Yeah, metal studs. So my butt gets a nice massage as I'm actually doing it. But the funny thing is about this chair, guys, is that I walked into a place called Dizzy Rock Furniture, who, by the way, you should probably reach out to, down in Delray Beach in Florida. And I saw the store is just filled with the most eclectic, cool furniture, throw rugs, pillows, like I'm telling you, you should call them Dizzy Rock Furniture. And I saw this chair, and I went up to him. I said, "Hey, how much for the leather chair?" And the owners, they're like, the owners, that's his personal chair. Those are his leather jackets from his younger years when he used to go on tour and he had all these ticket stubs of all the bands he went and saw, from Judas Priest to Motley Crue to Rat to all these different bands. And they're like, it's not for sale. I'm like, well, everything's for sale. So could you call him and tell him that there's a crazy guy that would like to buy the chair? So they probably thought I was going to say no. They came back with the number. I'm like, I'll take it. And to me, when that
guy regrets it.
I don't know, man. I told him it's going to be on a podcast. I'll probably send him this episode so he can see that I'm pimping out his chair. But the funny thing is, man, is like if everyone has the same stuff, nothing's unique. And so one of the things that I try to look for is maybe not necessarily everything that's in our house is unique, but those certain key pieces that stand out. Like my wife and I, as we modernized our home, one of the things that happened, Aaron, is we modernized our home. We realized that there was certain areas of the house that we needed to have like really cool, like accent pieces. And so we would go and we went to the store that had these imports from India. And I'm showing a few pictures of this right now, just like some really cool, unique pieces that accent throughout the house. And it makes all the difference in the world. And I'm sure that's the way people feel about your product as well, too. So stay tuned, Aaron, because we have to take another break from another amazing sponsor. You're with Aaron from Furug, Adam DeGraide from the David versus Goliath podcast. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Northeast Capital has an exciting new program we offer to equipment and software dealers. It provides you the appearance of a private label captive financing program. We call it Our Financial Services. Using Our Financial Services, you can offer your customers your own financing program, including industry-specific payment calculators and unique payment options. Northeast Capital administers a private label program tailored to you and your customers' needs. Learn how we can help you reduce receivables and qualify for your own private label finance program.
And we're back for our final segment with Aaron from Furug. And this is Adam DeGraide, your handsome host. As you guys can tell, man, like the older I get, I do dye my hair, and my viewers and my watchers will know that, because next time you see me, I will have darker hair. And I realized early on that if I was going to dye my hair as I got older, I had to start earlier than I even needed to, because it would look natural. The problem is if you keep going for several months without doing it, you get some challenge, you get some salt and pepper. You get some salt and pepper too.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things we talk about here on David versus Goliath is there's a lot of entrepreneurs and there's a lot of people that were in the same situation that you're in, you know, and what I admire, and one of the reasons why I like to bring on solopreneurs as well as people that are entrepreneurs and have hundreds of employees on DVG, is because somebody starts out as a solopreneur always before they can bring on other people, right? Every great business starts with, usually, at least a startup, will have one person with a great vision, maybe a couple other people come and join them. And that's the team that they start with, and they grow from there. And so there's a lot of people right now that are in the exact same situation that you're in. You know, they listen, they watch the podcast, they have ideas, they maybe have artistic or creative ideas. They're creatives. They don't know how to necessarily take that leap of faith. And one of the things we talk about here on David versus Goliath is the fact that it takes courage. So not only did it take you to have a plan to say, I'm going to go out and start doing this and start to plan on where I can get my providers and get the rugs and get all these things, and then to go step into a store and get denied. And all of these things add to who we are as a business owner. And the people get gripped in fear from doing that. They're always afraid of the unknown. So one of the things we talk about is courage. So there's plans and goals. There's people. You're building your team right now. You're going and growing. You're building your infrastructure. You're building your clients. You're eventually going to add people into your business. This is all fantastic. Then comes technology, which is critical. And one of the things you said is you're having to do a lot of that on your own. You should look at outsourcing some of that stuff, and we can have a different conversation about that separately. I think I can definitely help you with that. Finding the right tools to help your business. And then it's your process that your people use. And then most importantly, it's courage, which is the fact that you didn't hesitate, you did it. So what advice would you give to someone right now who's sitting at their own version of Glasso? They're they have a great job. They've learned a lot. They're not really as fulfilled as they want to be. There's something that's burning inside of them that is calling them to do something different. What advice would you give them, from Aaron to say, hey, do this? What would it be?
I would say, don't be afraid to give it a try. Make sure you do have support, whether that be from a spouse, a partner of some kind. But the great thing about starting out on your own is you learn everything yourself. And as you grow, if you make a mistake when you're small, it's a small mistake. If you try and do something when you're much larger, that mistake can be costly. So I think starting out small, doing it by yourself. Again, I didn't know anything, but instead of bringing someone in, and paying them, I've learned to do a lot of this myself. Importing, you think I know about tariff codes before I got into cowhides? But I wasn't paying a broker to do it. Updating the website. I don't know web design, but I taught myself how to do it. That way, when something needs to be done, you can do it on the fly. You don't have to pay someone or wait for someone to come in. So I would say starting small, starting just by yourself is a great way to go because you really get to learn everything about your business.
It's funny that you say that because I just started my 4th software company. I built and sold 3 of them. They've been worth quite a bit of money. I've been very grateful. Amazing partners, amazing employees. I'm grateful every single day. But I still, to this day, love getting my hands dirty on almost every aspect of the business, from design to the software meetings, to creating campaigns for my clients, to talking about marketing concepts with my clients. And what I've always felt the value of that is that when it came time for me to not do those things, I knew what it took to do them. So A, when I brought somebody on, I could train them effectively and efficiently. And then B, I also knew if they were playing me because I did it, right? So I've done it.
Right.
And so it makes a huge difference. And so what Aaron's advice to the watchers and listeners is like, listen, don't be afraid. Get out there, get your hands dirty. There's only one way to start a business. That's to do it. That's the only way to do it. It's like, so it reminds me of a long time ago. I used to be a smoker, and that was a terrible habit. There's only one way to quit smoking. You stop smoking. That's how it works. Yeah. It's like, and you're going to feel like crap and it's not going to be great. But the only way to become a non-smoker is to not smoke. The only way to become a business owner is to start a business. It's like anything that's great, truly great and worthwhile in this world starts with one word, and that word is believe. You have to believe in yourself and you have to believe in what you're doing. And I love the fact, Aaron, that rawhide that was sitting on your floor for 20 years turned into a business for you and something that you're having passionate about it. If somebody was to say to you, Aaron, do you actually dream about cowhide?
No, I don't.
Have you ever had a dream? Have you ever had a dream about a cowhide?
I can't say I haven't, but I do dream about picking up clients and how that's going and how a meeting's going to go, but not specifically about the cowhide.
Now, have you ever seen the Office episode where Dwight Schrute, he goes out and he's going to go do a big meeting and he plays a Motley Crue song? He's in the car. He's either in the car or he's in the hallway. I can't remember what it was. Oh no, he's going to go get a raise. He's like, yeah, you're not going to say no to me. And he's playing the music. And I love that. Do you have any rituals like that? I used to, by the way. So when I was doing sales primarily in my first business, I would crank myself up with the heaviest tune that would get me all pumped up before I go in. Do you have any pregame ritual that you actually go through?
Sometimes, maybe not rock music or whatever, but sometimes I'll throw like a nice EDM or something on with an upbeat beat, and I just kind of, you get it. All right, I'm going to go in and talk to these people now. Yeah, like that. Boots and pants. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, listen, I don't begrudge people. Whatever it takes, man, to get yourself out of bed, to get yourself motivated, and to get yourself in the right mental state to take on what you need to take on. I have a little sign. Here's a picture of it, me holding it up right now. I'm showing the watchers and listeners. It says, punch today in the face. That's what you have to do. You got to punch today in the face because it'll punch you back if you don't punch it. And so, have you had a good time being on DVG today?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm looking forward to coming back tomorrow too.
Yeah, right. How can people find you online and take a look at some of your wares?
It's Furug, FURUG.com. Simple website, FURUG. And I am doing a promo code for anybody listening if they want to give a cowhide a try. It'll be one of the best investments you make. Promo code is DVSG, and it's for 25% off.
That's awesome.
Any hide or pillow or most anything on the site.
That's great. And now this show is not live, so you're actually not going to be playing until the middle of May to the end of May.
Right.
So
it's running.
It's going to be running for you guys, and I'll make sure that my producer right now is putting it back up on the screen. So if you're interested and you want to take a discount, there's the code. You didn't have to do that. That's awesome. I had no idea you're going to do that. There's no discount codes for my store on the David versus Goliath podcast.
Just that chair.
Yeah, no, you can't buy this chair for me. There's no way. I'm not letting
everything's for sale. Didn't you say that?
Well, yeah, but not for me. Not for me. Aaron, it's been awesome having you on the DVG podcast. Another amazing episode of the David versus Goliath podcast where you get inspiration, education, and hopefully activation. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Have a great day.